And then the other thing is the third parties. I mean, you get people expressing some enthusiasm that, hey, look at the rally they did, look at the work they did, go to Gen Z, all kinds of it. I could never understand that optimism because the records show that third parties really do not have a place in a system of first past the post. And the record of third parties from the year 2000, the UGMs, which broke away from the NPP, the reforms, which broke away from the NDC, right up to the SD something, Obeta Samuel's party or something. 2005, a whole chairman of a party broke away and formed his own party. The Bebold people, what's their name? NDP. You can't even recognize the name. The Kunedu Ajiman. That's the only we can recognize, the Kunedu Ajiman parties and so on. And all the noise and the razzmatazz and the hula baloo. You think, and they anywhere. So when people will say, hey, I like Chairman Ting and the other guy, the Bushi here.
Nana Kwame.
Kwame. Nana Bidiako. He has some famous.
Cheddar.
That's the one I'm looking for. Is it cheese? Cheddar cheese or something?
I don't know.
And then people were going, hey, look at them, look at the rally they did, look at the walk. I'm like, these things, you won't get anywhere. And true, you look at the results, 0 point something. So even the third party, political parties, established political, like the CPP and so on, what did they get?
It looks like the independent third parties who do not have what you call a party structure perform better
than the political parties
who by law are supposed to have a national spread and representation.
Well, but it all talks to the fact that in the first past the post system, it's difficult for political parties to emerge.
People don't want to waste their votes.
No. I mean, even if you went outside Ghana, we've had this thing for how many years, maybe 30 years. You go to America and so on, where it's also first past the post for over nearly 250 years. No third party has emerged. So I don't know why people believe that they can go the third party way and then do anything. It will not work. Rather join a political party. If I am I don't know what kind of disgruntlement with NPP will make me leave the party. Because you are not in the party because of some individual. So even if some individual's action is upsetting you, you are there for the party, not for some individual. So I can't see how I will leave the NPP for any reason. Because it's the party that I believe in, not anybody.
Unless you are sacked.
But I'm not going to do anything that would have me sacked. But I'm saying that even if you are so disgruntled against your party or for whatever reason, join another party. But this business of going as a third party, I can't imagine what is the thinking behind it. It will not work. You're just going to waste your money. And this election thing, damn expensive. Look at the chap that we're talking about. Look at the campaign, the billboards that he had over there. And I was astonished. I don't think the NDC and NPP will come anywhere near.
You mean Cheddar?
Yes. It's a very expensive business. And to mount these billboards all over the country, it's a lot of money. And it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere. The post-election violence...
on this network, apart from NPP and NDC, is the only one who paid for adverts.
Oh, even the others haven't paid?
No, I don't think any of them actually placed commercial ads.
NPP didn't put that.
No, I'm saying apart from NPP and NDC, he's the only.
Oh, yeah,
yes.
Okay. Even the Afrafranto people, they didn't come and place that.
Not to the best of my knowledge.
So it's a very expensive business. So if you are going into it, you must be sure in your mind that it will be worth your while. The results so far show.
This is what you're referring to. Right. These are the billboards.
Yes. And you remember the early days where there was a mask?
Yes.
A lot of money.
But there's a good, so that's a mask. It was a good advertising strategy.
Was it for what purpose?
Oh, curiosity. I mean, what is it? Who is it?
You are going to throw money to get curiosity?
No, I'm not talking about.
Will you throw that kind of money for?
No, I'm not talking about whether it was a good strategy for his presidential ambition. But I'm saying that for a campaign, for an advertising campaign, I like it. I like the way they did it, the way it built. Yeah.
But you didn't vote for it.
Of course.
But that's the point. Because what were they doing it for? Not for you to like it. It's for you to vote for them.
It's something I can.
Anytime I
can pick up to work around for a client in the future. The concept. I like the concept.
Well.
But as to whether it will get the result is something else. Yeah.
And it's a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
And if you did that for a client, and you don't show that it's going to get a client some marketing mileage, they won't do it. And clearly, it's not going to go anywhere, And the record shows. So I don't know why they spend so much energy and so much resources doing this third-party thing.
Yeah, Nana has made many submissions this morning that I disagree with. First of all, the claim that in a multi-party democracy, there is no space for a third force, and that third forces cannot make it. It's the kind of narrative that those of us who belong to the established parties have to be careful about, and we should eschew that. And you see, it is that mindset that leads to the bad governance epitomized by what the Akufo-Addo-Bawumia government has delivered. Oh, no matter what happens, we have a chance in 4 years. 8 years, we will come back. And so they govern with impunity because they think that they are the only alternative. I do not belong to that school of thought. And indeed, if you look at democracies across the world, the evidence does not confirm what Nana Komia is submitting this morning. Did you follow the South African election, Rani?
Yeah.
Jacob Zuma, from prison, formed a new party few weeks to the election. The MK party. The Mdwento Wizize party. And look at their showing. They did more than 14%, over 2.3 million votes. They won the highly contested and swing KwaZulu-Natal. Few weeks to the election. Those who were in the ANC, the EFF and others, thinking that, we're from this party. Jacob Zuma is a spent force. So, the electorate, what they hate really all over the world, and they've shown that they're the same all over the world. They hate complacency. They hate a certain political group thinking that they will always have power, no matter what. It will swing back to us, no matter what we do. Go to France. 6 months to the 2016 election, Emmanuel Macron forms a new party, the En Marche party, or the Renaissance party. And they sweep the whole of France. That is the dominant political party now. Those who had the mindset that, third forces can't work. So, let's have a duopoly, left, right, and do whatever we want. You saw how they were swept away. So we have to be careful. In 2010, when you go to the UK, you see what the third force, the Lib Dems, what they did. So they formed a coalition with the Conservatives, with Cameron and Nick Clegg. Leclerc became deputy prime minister, you recall. They formed a coalition, they formed a government. Those who were in the Conservative Labour Party who thought that there's no room for third forces were totally embarrassed at the end of the 2010 elections in the UK. So, look, if you have a situation where apathy sets in, and as I reflect on the 2024 election, I have been very, very concerned about the high levels of apathy. Why are so many people not turning up to vote? We in the political class ought to be concerned. This fourth Republican Democratic dispensation does not appear to be living up to promise. When you read the last Afrobarometer, did you see the number of people who have lost confidence in democracy? For the first time, it's gone beyond 50%. That is worrying. Perhaps the lack of the two major parties is that there was really no credible third force, like we saw in South Africa or in France or in the UK. And so the millions who didn't turn up to vote thought that, well, let's just sit back. But you see, the results of this election should tell us that we in the two leading parties, our days are numbered. And you cannot continue to take the people for granted. The way the NPP has been punished, walloped, whipped, decimated, Ghana is now looking like a one-party state, a gap of over 1.6 million. It should rather tell us that, look, you can't continue with that complacency mindset, that business as usual mindset. So, on that submission of trying to ridicule the third forces and saying that, just join another main party and, and that it will swing, it will automatically swing to the one of the two leading parties. I totally disagree. Totally, I'm opposed to that mindset. Look, even in Ghana, Doc, even in Ghana, when we started voting in Ghana, the CPP was totally unassailable with their leads, with their command. I mean, what the CPP achieved in elections all the way to the 1956 elections was seen as magical. It was mind-boggling. But where is the CPP today? That used to be a dominant force. Really, if you look at the political history of Ghana, my party, the NDC, is a relatively new party. Very, very new party. And yet, see what we have achieved. A new party has achieved the greatest political victory in the history of the fourth Republican dispensation. Because we are not a traditional party that goes back to the 40s, the 30s, the 1920s.
You harvested the CPP, and then although the CPP exists as a party name, you harvested the CPP. So you had UP elements join you.
Exactly, because we are Congress.
And don't forget that then the PNDC had been in power for close to 15 years.
So you're making my point.
And you have set up a...
Absolutely. Yeah. That should tell you that the situation is fluid. That parties rise and fall. Don't think that you are dominant today and you'll be dominant forever. I mean, it exactly confirms the point I'm making. Where is the CPP today? Another new party can emerge and swallow your votes, your dominance, and take over. So as for me, I like to be very, very cautious, never to take the voter for granted, never to think that the status quo will remain and that you would always be dominant. And I think that is that kind of mindset, which has brought the NPP where it is today.